Ready, go, ready, go, ready, go, ready, go. Ready, go, ready, go, ready, go, ready, go. Yeah, you know what it is. Home of the West Coast offense. Frisco to Stockton, Modesto to Fresno, we get it poppin'. Reppin' my team, when you see me, you know everything. Ready, go.
I'm a little happier. I'm a little happier now.
Live, suckers.
I'm a little happier now. I'm sorry, guys. I'll let you guys let it out first. I'm happier now. Don't date without me right now. I'm a little happier now. But we're live on YouTube, Twitch, find us on YouTube and all that crap. So I just want to get that out of the way real quick. Guys, of course, Daniel's sitting next to me. Danielson.
Right.
All right. And of course, Jake, newcomer. All right. And of course, you all know Jake over there. All right, sure. All right, guys, let it out. Go ahead, let it out. Let it right now. Go ahead.
Let's go.
Got that D back.
Ready. Digging it.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Saleh just signed with the 49ers, man. Let's go.
Yup, baby. We got Robert Saleh.
It's going to be good.
Dang, I cannot express to you how happy I am Nick Sorensen is no longer with the team either.
Yep.
He's not expected to return at all in any way.
Yep. I really was like, even the special teams thing, like, I don't know, man. This probably sounds really awful, but I just wanted him gone. I'm like, I'm sorry. I just don't want you on the team.
Yeah. Honestly, I 100% agree. It's like, what has he got on you? Why is he sticking around? Like, I get that Shanahan has a habit of like holding on to potential he sees, and he does it with players too sometimes, especially like the younger guys, like Ronnie Bell. Ronnie Bell, if he had some hands on him, he'd be unstoppable. But the dude can't catch a cold. Yep. And for whatever reason, Sorensen just needed to go. We need Staley needs to be gone too. Honestly, I don't see any reason keeping them around with Saleh running the show on defense.
Yeah, I believe somebody said, I can't remember who it was earlier. They said they thought that Staley was likely not being retained, that he was going to be out.
Oh, good. I don't understand how you can have such a defensive guru and have such a bad defense all year.
And to that point too, and I was had Saleh not gotten signed yet. I was going to bring this up anyway, but everyone's like, well, what if we just go to Staley if we don't get Saleh? And I'm like, my logic on that is, if you like Staley so much, why didn't you replace Sorensen with him in the middle of last season when things were going off the rails? 1. 2, why didn't you just give him the job right off the bat when you fired Sorensen? I'm like, Staley was not your dude. He was never your dude.
Yeah, he was just somebody to help Sorensen. And I'm sorry, but if you need help, you got no business coaching a number 1 defense. Top 5 defense anyway. Maybe he thought our talent would carry. And honestly, I mean, I didn't realize, I knew Greenlaw was a force after his rookie season with that big play against Seattle. But just when he went down in the Super Bowl, I didn't realize how big of a piece to our defense he was. I could almost say if Fred Warner wasn't on the team, we'd be better than without Greenlaw with Fred Warner on the field, honestly. He just has this tenacity. He fires off the ball. He runs to the ball. You cannot run on him. And that is something our entire defense lacks, is the ability to stop the run.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I wouldn't be upset if we retained Staley as as a coach or a consultant or whatever you want to call him. I don't see that as a bad thing. He knows football in and out. Just because Sorensen can't call plays doesn't mean Staley's a bad football guru, you know. So that's my opinion. I don't mind retaining him. Yeah, he's part of that old defense, but you got Saleh coming in. If he can point some things out to Saleh, I think Saleh has the knowledge to take advantage of the things he can pointing out. We can take advantage of.
I got you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jake, I know you're on speakerphone. Probably that's what background.
So I got an echo.
Yeah, you got an echo, man. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh yeah, I got you, man. Let me pull that off right now.
It's all good. It's all good. I just don't want to interrupt you guys talking.
There we go. Fixed it.
It's all good, brother, man. You know that.
All right, guys. Trying to hustle right now.
It's all good, brother.
You're good.
For me, real quick, I'm happy. You had no idea how much excited we got freaking Rob Saleh. Hey, you have no idea. I'll let it out later. Not right now. But Nick Sorensen's out of here. Thank God. Staley's out of there. You know, this coaching staff is going to get updated really good. And I do believe that Robert Saleh is going to try to talk to Kyle and whoever else about bringing some guys in that he knows from the Jets he used to have. So, how you guys feel about that?
I'm game. I mean, I think his first season he had the 17th ranked defense. His second season, I think they were a top 5 defense. So, clearly he's got some good guys that he put on his staff that knew the defense in and out. So I'd be game for him to bring some guys in and possibly fill some holes that we have. We've got some good
I believe the Jets were the number 3 defense last year.
Yeah,
and they were one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
Number 3 overall, I believe.
I think they were the 3rd best defense the year before, too.
Well, if we can get that corner out of New York, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if we can pull some players in from New York, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll be the first person to admit, and I probably pissed some people off with this take, but early on when they were talking about bringing Saleh back, I'm good with it. I think it's going to be great. My only concern was, I don't know. I was worried, and I can't control what people think, but I was just concerned that it's people thinking that, okay, we got Saleh back, we're going to look like we did in 2019 again. And I'm like, man, don't get me wrong. Our secondary, I think, is better than it was in 2019. But up front, that's why I think this draft class is so freaking critical and free agency.
Oh, yeah.
It's I'm stoked that Saleh's back. Don't get me wrong. But you got to do something about that defensive line. You can't. I'm assuming that I don't know if Malik Collins is staying. I have no idea. I don't know about Leonard Floyd. I don't know. I mean, he's 32, 33 years old. I don't know. But they got to do something to get back to being able to stop the run, because that is absolutely killing us.
I got the perfect cure, Rand. It's Khalil Mack. That's what we need.
I'm on board.
I don't think we can afford him.
I like it, but yeah.
It's gonna turn into a draft. We're probably gonna get 2 or 3 defensive tackles in the draft, and I think they're gonna be happy with who they got on the ends with Floyd and Bosa. I mean, honestly, I think a lot of it comes down to the tenacity of the defense just not really rallying this year. There's a lot of adversity, and I don't think we responded to it well.
Yeah, let me ask you guys a question, because I've been curious about this. I'm not a huge. I love the draft, but in terms of I certainly am not a scout by any stretch. I don't watch enough college football to know all these dudes and how good they are. But I've been looking at some mock drafts, and I'm real curious to see what the Niners do with that 11th pick, if they keep that pick. Because you could either go You could go offensive line, you could go defensive line, and neither of those would be incorrect. But I'm looking at it, and every time I've done a mock, the two top offensive linemen are off the board by the time the Niners pick. That being Will Campbell and what's his name, Kevin Banks Jr. Is that right?
Yeah.
Dude from Texas. Both of those guys are gone. And then I'm like, okay, so if that happens, I'm assuming you're probably either going defensive tackle or you're taking a pass rusher.
Yeah, DT
so I would
is
ask
weird,
you guys,
but-
do you think the Niners' first pick is an offensive lineman? Because I don't. If both the top ones are gone, if say the top two dudes are gone, do you reach for an offensive lineman with the first pick, or do you go defensive line and go O line in with pick 2?
Well, I think with Pooney being a late round pick and the success we had there, I don't think that the need for a good offensive lineman has to come from the beginning of the draft. However, I do believe that good defensive line typically is high in the draft. So I would hope that we go for defensive tackle. And I believe that I read somewhere they were talking about, and this was on the, they were talking about it on the Greg Papa was talking about it, how they were looking. I guess they had some conversations about where they were looking to lean more towards the defensive side of the ball for their first 2 picks.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with a defensive tackle or a pass rusher. I think I was just looking at it. I don't know how it's going to fall, but I did like 3 mocks, and every time they get to 11, there's a Texas pass rusher named, I think it's James Pierce or something, that's there every time. And I don't know what's more pressing. I mean, we need defensive tackles.
Yeah, we keep getting them though, and they don't work out.
Well, that's the thing. Somebody was joking about bringing Kinlaw back, and I'm like, for what? Why?
Yeah.
That they thought Kinlaw was going to be the next Buckner, and he was never that.
I wouldn't mind having that guy back though. D-Buck.
That would be nice.
Yeah. I would love that.
Yeah, buddy.
ESPN, baby, ESPN.
Yeah,
It's official.
It's official. I told you it was official.
That means that somebody's already reported it before them, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody you said, and I know I read a thing about it. They said that he was probably going to end up being the highest paid defensive coordinator in the league, right?
Yep.
He is right now currently.
Coordinator and coach salaries don't go against the cap, right?
Correct.
Nice.
Correct.
Coaching staff doesn't go against the cap.
That's good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know what I could see them trading down and getting multiple picks. But there's not going to be a lot of need for trading up to number 11. Maybe switching places with Dallas and getting a couple of late round picks out of it. Who knows? True. Dallas usually does dumb shit like that. Excuse me, my French.
Bad boy.
Being from Dallas, I enjoy watching them lose. So
I don't blame you at all.
And make mistakes. It's great.
I was hoping to God that they were gonna draft, or that they were gonna sign Deion Sanders to be their head coach. I was like, please do that. I'm begging you to do that.
Yes.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. I don't want to, he's a very defensive minded coach. I'm really surprised. They're talking right now, because I listen to the sports radio here as well. They're talking about how it's real quiet because they're looking at Brian Schottenheimer to be their head coach right now.
I think they just hired him, didn't they?
They have not hired him. It's a rumor.
Oh, okay.
So they've interviewed him twice. What I think that they're doing is they're waiting until the Super Bowl's over, and I think they're going to try and get Spags.
That'd be a hell of a move if they could do it.
It would be the smartest move they ever made.
Somebody's got to start. I know we're kind of bouncing around all over the place here, but somebody's got to start dismantling the Chiefs. You got to start taking that coaching.
Well, they took Bieniemy, and that didn't matter.
And it didn't make a bit of difference. No.
In fact, he was horrible in Washington.
Yeah.
As long as Andy Reid's there, they're going to draw in good coaches no matter what.
I got a lot of respect for Andy Reid, but I would beg to say he can't do it without the referees.
Yeah, it drives me
This season
crazy.
for sure, yeah, and last season.
Yeah, and in 2019.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that this is going to be. I mean, I hope they don't win it at all this year, but I'm hoping this is going to be it. I mean, realistically, it's mind blowing to think that they've done what they've done because, I mean, the Patriots had a dynasty, but I mean, it's been you shouldn't with the way the game is structured now and the salary cap and everything. You shouldn't be able to do what this team has done in 4 of the last 5 years. I mean, it's kind of absurd what they've been able to do.
I read a fact the other day. Patrick Mahomes has more roughing the passer calls in 7 seasons than Tom Brady had in his entire career.
I believe that.
Then 24 seasons.
What's funny now is too, and I don't have anything against Brady, but what cracks me up is now they interview Brady and stuff, and he's talking about, oh, we need to change all these rules and blah blah blah. And I'm like, you mean the same rules that protected your ass for 20 years? The ones that they implemented because of you?
All the Brady rules.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just want them to change the rules because you don't want Mahomes catching you in Super Bowls and breaking all your records.
Yeah. Exactly. I think there's a, I'm a musician and like anytime you go and you play a gig somewhere, tipping the sound guy can do wonders for your live show. Sure. And I can't help but think that somebody's tipping the referees. Somebody does. I'm sorry, they did it. They did it in basketball. They, after the whole Spurs fiasco, I have no faith in the system.
And on that note, I want to ask you guys this again too, because I've had this debate with other people, and I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that think that it's rigged. A lot of people, and I get it. I understand. Again, maybe it's me not wanting to allow myself to let that enter my brain because it would completely ruin the game for me if I did.
Right.
But I will go as far as to say I don't think it's rigged. Number one, because there's too many moving parts. There's too many things that have to happen just the right way. It's not like basketball where you've only got 5 guys on the court and you can point shade and the way the game works. I feel like it's just too freaking hard to do that.
I mean, talk about getting do-overs and extra downs though, and allowing one team to commit penalties, but calling every penalty on the other team can swing a game. And you can make it look like an accident.
Right. And my thought too is, and I've brought this point up and maybe I'm looking at this from the wrong perspective. You got a lot of people who think that it's rigged for things like, as much as I hate to get into this, Taylor Swift. All right. They want her on the screen. They want, she's dating Travis Kelce. They want her, she's there and blah, blah, blah. And there's the theory that she's making the league a lot of money because she's drawing eyeballs. Valid. I get that. My problem with that, and maybe my numbers are off. If you really wanted to rig it for a team, any team in the league, why in God's name would you pick the Kansas City Chiefs? If you were going to rig it, why not? Why not rig it for the Dallas Cowboys? That's the most wealthy franchise in sports.
No, this is they talk about that as a way to debunk it, but I'm going to tell you right now, the Cowboys are blacklisted right now. Their franchise, right. Jerry Jones is at odds with Roger Goodell at all times. He's in the owners' meetings, always accusing Goodell of things, and I have seen over the years.
He became the new Al Davis.
Yes, he basically did, and he did it on his own. The Cowboys are a cursed franchise right now. The league is not behind them. They are not America's team like they used to be. They ride that wave. But I'm going to tell you something about Kansas City. Lamar Hunt from Dallas moved the Dallas Texans to Kansas City. Mm-hmm. It makes sense to me that they would pick the Chiefs because nobody would suspect it. I mean, the Patriots are gone. I mean, how easy was that?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's like, and I don't want to say that this is all. I don't think any of this was possible before the salary cap era. Honestly, since the salary cap has been in place, I don't think the need before that or the ability before that was there. It was all what team had more money. Now it's you got to posture everything, and the game is tailored towards the offense. And
Right.
they say defense wins championships, but not if you can hug them and throw them on the ground. I mean, we've seen some really bad calls this year, I think, around the league that have just been atrocious, especially against the Chiefs, or for the Chiefs, not even against. Those,
Right.
I mean, just take that Houston game as an example. Or what was a game where I want to say where they called holding on us because or was it? I want to say it wasn't Kittle. It was the other tight end. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Pancaked a guy, completely legally pancaked him, and they called a holding call, and it brought back a touchdown. It was Debo ran it back. I think it was a kickoff actually. And I want to say that was against Detroit or Green Bay. It's one of those games.
Sure.
But I've seen some really bad calls this year, like really bad, and they're blatant. And I mean, I don't want to say the game is rigged, but it kind of makes me feel like they've got their favorites, and they're like LA winning a championship in LA after the Buccaneers won one in Tampa. Can we talk about LA after they got a new stadium?
Before.
They just got a new stadium.
That, right? It had never happened before.
Yeah, but now,
in how many decades? And then it happened twice in a matter of years.
Yeah, but LA, their fan base, they just built that new stadium and their fan base was dwindling. They were about to throw that team out to the Sharks, man. And let me tell you something right now. The Buffalo Bills are postured to make the Super Bowl this year if they can get past Kansas City. And guess who's getting a new stadium?
Yeah, it's sketchy.
It's like maybe they're just keeping the fans engaged. Maybe they're just getting them good enough. Like the Lions, you know, that franchise. Detroit is a dead city, man. I mean, there are more dilapidated buildings than there are functioning buildings in Detroit. And there's poverty everywhere. There's crime. But they got the Lions right now. And I love what Dan Campbell's doing over there, except screw those guys. I do. I love his passion for the game. I love how he's turned around washed up Jared Goff and turned him into a real quarterback, giving him confidence. And the way that they run their schemes, I feel like it's funny because Shanahan's offensive schemes are all over the league right now. Detroit's doing it.
Oh yeah.
LA's doing it. The Cardinals do it. I mean, you name it. You look at any of these teams that are doing anything. Even Andy Reid's offense is extremely similar to ours. And you know, I don't want to say Shanahan invented it. In fact, I would go as far as to say as Reid is the one that's been innovating it, and he gets little to no credit. But these cities that are, it's almost like the fan bases are being uplifted, except the Browns. Nobody cares about them. They're always going to be bad. They're always going to make bad decisions. They're gonna go for the shiny object, and that's going to be the best they can do. Deshaun Watson was a terrible move. I won't even get into why. Did
they drop him finally?
No, they're stuck with him for another 2 seasons. They can't let him go.
And he just
restructured though, right?
He just tore his ACL again. Just tore his ACL again. So they're
in the
screwed.
offseason. He tore his ACL after the season.
Did he do it at a massage parlor? Sorry, that's
probably. Yeah. I mean, for so many reasons, that was karma coming back on them. You know what I mean? For even signing him, he should have not played another down. I mean, and the fact that he didn't play for 2 seasons, at least 3 seasons, I think it was. It was 2 seasons and then a 10-game suspension into the 3rd year that he finally got to start playing. And
bad,
why would you? Yeah, that's like bringing Kaepernick out of Rusty hadn't played in 7 years, and people keep talking about he's going to revive somebody. I mean,
I think the Kaepernick stories are jokes at this point. I don't think anybody's really serious about it. Anytime that there's a quarterback opening, you'll see the Kaepernick.
You know what I hate
meme come
about
out.
everybody says about him is that that nobody gave him a chance, but Baltimore was going to sign him,
Oh, absolutely. He
and
blew. He
he
blew
could
it.
have been he was going to be Joe Flacco's backup instead of Lamar Jackson getting signed. He was going to be there.
His girlfriend mouthed off and posted that meme about
Yeah.
Ray Lewis, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
One thing I will say though too, like and this is just me being petty. You have all these fans of these other teams and I mean, I go on Twitter and I engage with people and I talk crap to other fans because it's fun. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there are so many fans that, you guys, you couldn't win it. You got to the Super Bowl and lost. And now I'm like, yeah, well, we're out of it now. So one of y'all better beat the Chiefs because I don't want to hear anybody complaining. You guys couldn't beat the Chiefs. Try it. Let me know how that goes. If you can get it done, knock yourself out. Because the last team to win a Super Bowl that wasn't the Chiefs was the Rams, and they didn't have to deal with the Chiefs.
They had to beat the Bengals. They didn't play the Chiefs. You damn right.
You beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and then come talk to me about how easy that is. Let me know.
The last team to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl was Tom Brady's Buccaneers.
Was freaking Tom
That's
Brady.
It.
Yep.
Tom Brady's the only quarterback that's beaten Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Yep. And not only that, man, that it's funny. I really don't remember that game, maybe because I didn't watch it until later.
Oh man, I love that game. I watched it every day.
Todd Bowles destroyed them. I mean, he completely shut Mahomes down in that game. And I've never seen anybody be able to do that to him since. No, I mean,
they had a really good defense.
He looked horrendous in that game, and it's like nobody else can figure it out. We can't figure out how to stop this dude. And what kills me is
we had it. When Greenlaw went down in the Super Bowl, they were running that whole side of the field on his side of the field the rest of the game. They even scored the winning touchdown on that side of the field. He would have been there. It would have been a repeat of that Seattle game. He would have stopped that kid. Or he would have intercepted that ball. That was a telegraph. Everybody knew they were going to throw the ball to that side.
Yeah.
And it was going to be the same play that they win every year with. What do they call it? Corn dog?
We had him. That Greenlaw going down.
We had the lead in overtime. We were beating them the whole game. Yep. And just like in 2019, not because of our quarterback, I don't want to care what anybody says about Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't care. He overthrew somebody. We had the lead. Our defense gave it up.
Yep.
In the fourth quarter, you have 10-point lead. Your defense gives it up. You do not put that on the quarterback. I don't care. I don't care.
And let me ask you this on that same note, because I said this to somebody and somebody got mad at me. I said, because don't get me wrong, I'll say it again. I am excited that we got Saleh back. I really am. But I have extremely high expectations, and maybe I shouldn't. Here's my thing. If you are going to make this dude the highest paid defensive coordinator in the league, if you're going to pay him like he's a head coach or like he's the head coach of a defense, I don't want to hear any excuses about this defense underperforming. We better have a top 5 unit this year. I don't. You wanted him back. You got your guy. This is your dude. I don't want to hear it. Go get dudes and get back to being the top defense in the league. I don't want to hear it.
I will say that I agree with you. We are going to lose some guys. We're probably going to keep Mustafa and let Huff go. We are probably going to have a lot of young corners. We're going to lose Charvarius Ward. He's gone. He doesn't even want to play in San Fran because it hurts thinking about his kid dying. So, I mean, there's an opening on that side of the field for a good corner. Diamador Lenore is going to flourish under Saleh. I'm going to tell you right now. Our defensive line is going to be a point of emphasis. And I think that if we can keep Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner both healthy, I don't care who else is on the field. We are going to be a top 50 defense.
Yep. They were talking about, somebody said something about possibly bringing DJ Reed back. And I'm like, hey, okay, put DJ Reed on the opposite side of Lenore. Fine. Yeah. You got Renardo Green in his second year.
I like Malik Collins, man. He had a couple of good games. I think that our defensive passing schemes, our pass rush schemes, our rush defense was bad, but I think with the right coach, they can get the most out of those players. I think the people we have on the D-line have the potential to be a problem. And I know we're not keeping Hargrave, but I think that these guys can be a real problem, and we can set another I don't see why we can't set another defensive line sack record like the Philadelphia Eagles did the year that we lost to them in the NFC Championship game, which I really wish we hadn't lost Purdy in that game because we would have wiped them the same way we did the next year. I think we would have put up a 40 burger on them. It would have been so beautiful. I cannot stand Philadelphia. I hope Washington beats them, and I hope it's embarrassing.
Yep.
I am all Commanders right now. Commanders to the
this.
Super Bowl.
Here's one for you. And I don't want Kansas City anywhere near the Super Bowl. But
No.
if you had to guess on what's more likely, the Chiefs making history and three-peating, or a rookie quarterback making the first Super Bowl ever and then winning it, which is more likely?
Say winning. Yeah, I think it's obviously more likely that the Chiefs three-peat. However, I believe that the Bills are going to defeat them in a very close game. And I think the Bills, it's the Bills' year this year, and I think they're going to defeat the Eagles. I want to say that they're going to defeat the Eagles because right now, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Eagles quarterback, Jalen Hurts, has a knee injury that they're downplaying, but he took a serious hit in that last game, and his knee is messed up. And I don't think Saquon Barkley is going to run that whole table against the Bills defense.
Yeah.
I don't see either NFC team beating
if he's
the
hurt,
AFC.
if he's hurt, man, who knows? I mean, again, just because it's never
I'm
happened
taking the
doesn't mean
under.
it can't. Washington
Vegas has
freaking
got him
upset
at 8.5 carries right now for the game. I got him under. I think he's going to maybe, if he runs, it's going to be because he has to, not because he wants to.
Yep.
I don't think that they're – now, the thing about Philadelphia is they're a four-down team. There is no punting for them. If they got fourth and 2 or shorter, they're going to go for it, and they're going to make it every time. And I like that about them, except it's annoying.
Yeah.
Like
it really is.
Like we're not going to need punters if every team catches on. Nobody's going to need punters ever.
You got to get in those fourth and 2 situations though, because that's been our problem is that we played behind the sticks all year. Penalties killed us every time we had a drive going. It seemed like we got some kind of holding penalty or something that put us behind the marks and or behind the chains, and we couldn't recover.
Can't wait to have it.
Cooney had a really hard time at the end of the year because Trent hasn't been healthy. But if Trent stays healthy this year, I think him and Pooney, we're going to have a run game that breaks records. I don't think Saquon's going to even touch what McCaffrey's going to do next year if we have a healthy Williams and Pooney on the offensive line. I think McCaffrey goes for over 2,000.
Well, we got to shore up the left side though. We got to get rid of McKivitz, and I don't.
Yeah, he's never been good to me.
Be back.
I've never liked him.
I wonder if Jalen Moore could compete with him on that other side.
Well, Banks got hurt too.
He looked pretty dang good filling in for Williams.
Yeah, and who was that cat, the rookie with the big beard that came in on the last game of the year? Because he looked pretty good with the Cardinals.
What was that dude's name?
I can't remember his name, but he looked really good. Our offensive line, honestly, against their starters, looked really good with just those new rookies we had. And I think that if they're willing to put those guys in and they can run those complex blocking schemes, I think we're all right. We do need Trent. We cannot win without Trent Williams. Him, and I don't care what anybody says about Debo's production. He's under contract. We're going to lose cap space if we cut him, regardless of what we do. We're not going to save money by getting rid of him. So they want to talk about not re-signing him or extending him, but he's under contract this year. They could play out his year or franchise tag him next year. We've got plenty of guys that can pick up the slack. But I think Carousel, Ayuk, Jennings, and Debo are going to cause a lot of problems next year, especially with Carousel having an off season.
I think a lot of people are putting a lot of that pressure and a lot of the disappointment this season on Debo, and it's not Debo. If you look at those plays, they're not blocked well. There's no player is going to break off a big run in those situations, and I think we're telegraphing Debo too. We're not disguising those plays very well. Like when we put him in the backfield, They know we're
He's
handing
getting the
it
ball.
off
Yeah.
every single time, and it's like if you telegraph like that, that's the result.
And what choice did we have though? We were on our 4th running back by the end of the year, 5th running back actually. Like we went straight through RB1, 2, and 3, and we were playing with fire all season with injuries. And it's just call it a curse or whatever you want to call it, but like in 2019, after we won the Super Bowl, the next year we had more injuries than I don't think anybody knew what to do with.
Yeah, if you there's not too many teams that are going to go and have a great season after losing their number 1 wide receiver. The Cincinnati Bengals, if they lost Jamar Chase, they're not going to no Super Bowl without Jamar Chase.
I'm gonna say this right now. Ayuk wasn't a number 1 receiver this year when he was playing. He was not acting like a one.
No.
He was not
He
playing
wasn't-
like a one.
Not even-
He wasn't
never got a
right. He
chance.
sat out. Jennings was our number 1 all year, and I'm really excited. I hope he stays. I really wish he would stay. I know he's due to get out of here. He deserves to get paid wherever he goes, and we can't afford to pay him. I think that missing Ayuk really did kill us, but we were missing him when he was on the field too. And like he should, for the first 3 games of the year, he was not a factor. And he may have got hurt. Call it the slump. You know, Bosa was slow for 3 games when he went through his whole contract extension. But I think Debo and Ayuk play off each other. I think if we have Carousel, I think that adds a dynamic that Carousel had some really good games, but he also had games where he was completely taken out of the game, and that's just being a rookie. But as Jennings, dude, I would hate to lose him. He's been one of my favorite receivers for as long as he's been on the field for us and being clutch on 3rd downs. I have loved him. I'm glad he got a lot of time this year, and he showed out in the Super Bowl like he should have. And he got out there and made a name for himself because he's been in the league a little while, and he deserves all of the credit for, everything he's done. He's got great hands. He doesn't drop a lot of balls. He doesn't get a lot of targets, but he's always never been the first read. So
I agree.
I really hope we can keep him.
I love Jennings. I agree with you. I wouldn't be upset if we kept him at the right price, but I think he's replaceable. We had Kendrick Bourne that played that same role, making those big time 3rd down catches prior to Jennings being on the team.
I don't know how much I think Bourne was
those types of wide receivers that can be that 3rd option and catch those big passes and those big moments. I agree with you guys. He's great. I love his attitude and the energy he brings on those plays, but I think we can find somebody that can bring that energy still.
What do you guys think about what the NFC West is going to look like this upcoming year? I mean, we just saw the Rams kind of, I think, overperform. I mean, they got a lot of young guys that seem like they're okay, but
let's be real. I'm going to stop you. Let's be real. The Rams squeezed in a year where we sucked.
Yeah, no, I would like to see them do that when the Niners.
Us twice. The Seattle's trash. Geno Smith is showing who he really is, and I don't think Kyler Murray's going to have another. He hasn't had consecutive good years, so I think there's no reason with our schedule the way it is that we don't run the table.
Yeah, they're Rams. I mean, number one, I'm assuming Matt Stafford's going to come back, but he hasn't made up his mind yet. For all we know, he could retire. Seattle, you're already hearing rumors about them possibly moving DK Metcalf. And I'm like, are you guys dumb? Like,
yeah, let's get him.
What? Like, have you guys lost your mind? You want to move DK Metcalf? Like, don't get me wrong. Jackson Smith and Jigba's good. And trust me, I'm no fan of DK Metcalf. Like, as a player, he's talented. I think the guy's a crybaby. I think he's a whiner. I think he reminds me of Aaron Donald. Same thing. Aaron Donald was phenomenal. But both of those dudes, both of them, you can get in their head so easily. We piss freaking Metcalf off every time we play them, and he comes unglued every time we play him. Jennings does it to him all the time. The guy is a hothead. He cannot keep his freaking cool.
I love the way Jennings gets in the defenders' heads, man. He will.
It's amazing.
Dude, the way he was throwing dudes around there at the end of the year when he got ejected from that Cardinals game, man, let's talk about that. Like, that guy fights, and he is a dog, man. And we need that energy on the field. And I would hate to lose him for somebody else who can catch the ball, but doesn't have that dog in him like he does. That dude was tossing people. And I've never seen two cornerbacks literally fight the same guy 2 plays in a row ever in my life of watching football the way that happened. besides Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
I've seen people fight Deion Sanders as a defender. Jennings has a lot of talent as a blocker, and that's something that we will miss if he's not on the team.
Yeah, but you can't pay it. You've already got Ayuk on that big contract. You've got Debo on a big contract.
Signing Ayuk. I love Ayuk, but he is not worth selling the farm.
But
I really think that was a bad deal.
We did though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's too late.
You can't. There's nothing you can do. I don't think anybody's going to trade for him at this point.
I just didn't like doing it after having one.
A big contract.
And I get why they did it, but I just didn't like doing it after him having one big year. He had one. And I mean, honestly, I hate to say it, Debo's the same way. Debo had a monster year in 2021, and I guarantee you, and maybe it's the way we use him now because we have McCaffrey. That dude is never going to have a season like that ever again.
There's too many weapons.
There's no way. Yeah, and I get it. You got to pay somebody,
especially with Purdy. With Purdy in there, he doesn't have one guy that he throws the ball to all the time. He spreads the ball around. That's the same way with Brady. They didn't need a high-paid receiver. When they had Randy Moss, they put up big numbers, and they lost in the Super Bowl. There's no reason to have a guy like that when you have a quarterback like Purdy, which I love Brock Purdy. I think he is good at spreading the ball around and making the reads he needs to read. Yeah, he's had a couple of bad games this year, but honestly, with his stats the way they were, he had a pretty good season considering our team was trashed with injury.
Go look at his stats and Tom Brady's early stats. Last season, he already put up better stats than pretty much Tom Brady's first several years. So,
like, he's not putting up 4,500-yard seasons, but nobody is that's actually winning anything.
No, I think Brock is really, really good. They give him a freaking offensive line that can block worth a damn. He could be freaking amazing.
And a starting number 1 receiver, right?
Yep.
That actually can play.
Yeah, and that, which is, it's kind of surprising. Like, I always thought that we would end up with like I don't know, like a Julio Jones type, because I figured, okay, Kyle had a dude like that. Like, we'll get a big-bodied 6'5", push people around kind of dude that's like a vertical threat. And we've never really had that. We still don't have that, and I guess Kyle he always liked the short, fast guys. He doesn't like the, I guess
our offense is built around speed for sure and separation. Yeah. Guys that can cut and get separation, because you don't need to be taller than anybody or bigger than anybody if you get open.
Right. Yeah. And that's, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be spending any high draft capital on a monster receiver anytime soon.
We did last year and we didn't even need one.
Yeah, I don't know.
We did last year and we didn't even need one, man. Carousel, no. I like Ricky, but he's not first round. He didn't pay out first round, given his situation, getting shot and everything. But I get that. I wouldn't have been able to play for the rest of my life if I got shot in the chest ever. So kudos to that guy. But did we really need to take a wide receiver in the first round when were just paying Ayuk and we had Debo?
Yeah.
No.
It was not a good.
And for them to go get Carousel, there were other receivers in that draft that they could have picked up. And honestly, I think everybody thought we wanted a first round of offensive lineman, but I like Dominic Pooney. I think that pick was over everybody's head.
That guy's awesome. He's awesome.
That pick was over everybody's head, and everybody wants to talk about our draft picks, but we do good in the late rounds. Our first round picks aren't always a win, but our late round picks are usually money. So
I think if you can, like that last draft, I think if you can get another draft where because this last, we got what? You got Mustafa, Pooney,
Mhm.
and probably Renardo Green that are
Yeah.
all going to probably end up being really good. If you can get
Green,
another
I
draft
want to
where you
say,
got,
I hope he's good, but I don't
well,
know
yeah,
yet.
I don't know yet, right? But yeah, you're gonna Pooney and Mustafa. I think Mustafa's gonna be that guy's gonna be a freaking heat-seeking missile.
Moose.
Yeah.
That dude is just an absolute. Oh my god! That did you guys see that video where they talked to Amon-Ra St. Brown? He was talking to Debo about. He's like, I've never. He goes, he hit me once, and I was like, okay, bring it with your whole chest next time. And Mustafa went, okay, and the next time he just went, bam, and just laid him out. And Amon-Ra said, I have never been hit that hard in my life. And
Dude,
I was like,
between him and Diamador Lenore is laying people out too.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
I want that physical defense. We got to be able to make people scared to catch the ball over the middle. And
Yep.
when you hear footsteps against us, people need to shit their pants. And
Yep.
I think that we do that. Anyways, guys, I got to run. It's like 10 o'clock. I got to go. I wanted to stay all night. It was great
Yep, no, I
talking to you,
got you.
Jacob. It's
You
nice
as well.
meeting you.
You as well, man.
Ryan, you have a good night.
Yeah, man.
Have a good one.
All right.
Later, man. Later. I was going to say, does Dante Hidner ring a bell?
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. That's that for sure. Absolutely, man. Dude,
Dante
I
Hidner.
watched that. I watched the was it him? I think it was him. He was in the 2011 NFC title game when we played the Saints. He was the one that knocked Pierre Thomas out cold.
Right there,
And it set the tone for the whole game.
Down the goal line.
Savage.
Yep. I remember that.
And that was the Bounty Gate year when they were knocking dudes out, and the Niners were like, all right.
We hit him so hard he just stood there and like this and went down. And the ball came right out.
That changed that whole game, man. It was just fantastic.
Now,
but yeah,
I know David Barty said this about maybe 24 hours ago. But I wanted to bring you guys up since we got Salah now. Now, can you imagine them going out getting Salah Thomas and Javon Kinlaw back in the 49ers?
Yeah, nah, I don't.
No?
I mean, I wasn't. I think it's the idea people like. I think they're like, oh, let's bring everybody back together. But Solly wasn't all that great, and I mean, Kinlaw was all right, but he wasn't ever. He was never like gonna be. They got him to be like the answer to DeForest Buckner, and he was never that. So no, I think they could get some new guys in there.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it for sure. I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Gotcha, bro.
It's gonna be a great year. But hey, it's getting late, man. I gotta head off, unfortunately.
All right, man.
But yeah, no, looking forward to it, man. Go Niners.
Go Niners, brother.
Take care, sir.
You too, bud. Hey, Danielson, you still with us? I know you probably hear me probably. But I know you told me right, you'd be right back. But yeah, faithful. Yes, faithful. Robert Saleh FOC is signed. All right. Right now, I know we're all just waiting for the years and money wise, and how bad it hits the cap and all that. So basically, we're just waiting for the numbers, all the price and numbers and stuff. So I've been looking for it, but I don't think they put that out yet. But basically, they probably just are just waiting for the numbers to get released, so everybody on our shows just to let it out. That way, people can have more updates about the numbers of Rob Saleh and his contract situation. So, but yeah, he signed and delivered. I like I said, I don't know how many years or how much money, but he is signed with us, and now he can officially reunite with Warner and Greenlaw. Greenlaw ain't going nowhere, guys. Okay, I tell you right now, since we got Saleh, Greenlaw's not going anywhere now. They'll figure it out. They will. They'll figure it out. It takes time to figure stuff out, and go through numbers. He had it bad. It happened in the Super Bowl last year. I know I said this in the last show we did. and it was a sad moment for all of us. Um, and basically, just he came back halfway through the season, and I mean, I think we were all hoping for a comeback for us to, try and make the playoffs, but hey, never happened. But right now we're rebuilding again, or they're refurbishing. That's the word I'm looking for. Refurbishing everything, and best best case scenario, our defense definitely will probably be top 3 next year. So I'm really happy about the sign. I really am. I was hoping it would happen this morning or this afternoon, but then I told myself, watch it happen before we go live. And it did. I was happy. So, but yeah, guys. And of course, all the news around the league. We all know Pete Carroll. He got signed to the Raiders. All right, pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah, to the Raiders. I mean, I really don't care about that, but I just wanted to bring it up. If it wasn't for, we all know the name Trent Baalke. We all know that name. I know all Niner fans know that name. If it wasn't for him, what's up, Daniel? Different lighting, different background. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I just want to make sure I can hear you. Okay. In case everybody else left. So, just telling everybody that about the numbers. It'll probably get released hopefully by tomorrow, maybe the release of his contract situation. I was about to say that I cannot wait. It'll probably be I say tomorrow or Sunday, the presser for Robert Saleh. I can't wait for that presser. I cannot wait for it. I'm watching that bitch. I really.
What are the odds that he's going to talk about bringing the violence? What are the odds?
All gas, no brakes. That's exactly how I want to hear.
Heck yeah.
Man.
I'm excited, man. I'm right there with you. Appreciate you being the hype man on the Robert Saleh signing. I've been behind it since he got fired last year. I was like, let's bring him in, get him. We need him.
I know.
I'm excited too.
I know. I told the guys, or I didn't tell Jake because you're left, but I just told Jacob before he left, but he's not too keen about Javon Kinlaw. But what if imagine bringing in Solomon Thomas and I just told his name. Yeah, I got brain fart now. Solomon Thomas and Javon Kinlaw. What are you thinking about bringing them back? I know Jacob said no. So
I'd say no on Kinlaw. I wouldn't be opposed to Solomon Thomas as a depth piece, but they can't be starters.
I got you. I just wanted to bring it up. I saw it on David Barty's.
How did Kinlaw do with the Jets? What were his stats with the Jets?
I don't know. I don't know. To tell you the truth, I really don't know. I know I don't cover them, so I mean, well, not to take my mind off of that, but the Cowboys did hire Schottenheimer. Is that how you say his name? Schottenheimer. That's that coach.
Kyle Schottenheimer.
And a lot of Cowboy fans do not like it. They're blown up on their Twitter feeds. They don't like it, as a lot of people said. Let me see here. Javon Kinlaw. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna look it up real quick if I can. Hopefully, real quick without having.
He had 4.5 sacks with the Jets.
Hey, you're quicker than me. There you go.
That's his career. That was his career high. 4.5 sacks with the Jets.
How many years? 1 year. 1 year.
It's not bad for a
okay
defensive tackle, I guess, but if he's going to be a starter, you need at least 6 to 10, right?
Yeah. About 10. I say about 10. I know. I didn't go through with you. I think I did on last show, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm gonna talk about it anyway. I'll bring it up real quick. I know I got it on here. I know we're probably gonna talk about it again on our show. Let's see if I can. I know I just had it on here too. 1 second, guys. Hold on. Come on, don't diss me. Where are you? Um, right here. The draft picks. I know they didn't want to draft. Not here yet. It won't be here for at least another 3 months. I'd say. But first round, 11 pick, 11 overall pick. Second round, 43rd pick. Round 3, 75th. Round 3 again, can't say the word right. Compensatory. Round 4, there's no number 4. Round 4, Chase Young. And round 4 for Sam Darnold. And round 6, don't say nothing for that one either. Round 7 for the Panthers and round 7 for Ray McLeod. So, 10 picks, guys. And I have a feeling that a 10th pick, I mean, we do good no matter what between the 4, 5, and 6 and 7. So, but we probably won't get rid of none if we do or not. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about the draft. I really am. See what we can get. So I know. I want to give a shout out to the people that are watching right now. And there's three people, of course. I know my wife's probably one of them. Hi, baby cake. How you doing? Yeah. So I know I just wanted to do a quick shout out to everybody. Of course, shout out to you guys for doing this tonight. Of course, Jacob and Jake. Shout out to you, Danny boy.
Absolutely.
I know Melvin was on come on, but he I think he said he had or probably engagement is good too. So, but he couldn't make it tonight. But yeah, definitely shout out to Matt man. He's working tonight, so or no, I'm sorry, he wasn't working. He was at a birthday bash. My bad, birthday bash. But he won't be here tomorrow night either, so he won't be on this week's show. So, but he said he should definitely be here next weekend. Definitely give a shout out to Craig. I know Craig has been around for a while, and he messaged me a couple of days ago, and he says hi to everybody. But he's working a lot right now. He's working a lot. He's got a lot of stuff going on right now for him. But he said I told him every time we do a show, I send him a link anyway, just in case he wants to show up and say hi. So, but that's basically what I have. Unless I'm missing anything. Don't know if I'm missing anything. We covered all the news. We covered Robert Saleh, of course. Nothing really. I know a lot of our stuff will be coming, like Greenlaw and all that. That'll be coming. But you got anything else left you want to say on your behalf?
No, I'll just thank our viewers. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, brother, man. All right, well, that's our show, man. You can hang off if you want. I'll just talk to you on the chat. All right.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, you too, man. Have a good night. Later, brother. Have 49ers. All right.
Robert Saleh, baby.
Robert Saleh, baby. Okay, here we go. And let me see if I can do this right. Okay. That's why the reason why I like to do that at the end, because this right here by myself, I can just tell you guys, I want to get a shout out no matter what to my wife and our show that we do. All right. It's called MM in the Box, and we do movies and music. Okay. Of course, you probably know me. So if you want to message me on Messenger, look for me, message me on Messenger, and ask me about it. It's basically what we do is do like, it's not a trivia kind of thing, but it is because we do a new thing now. We just play videos and not music videos and not music videos and not movie videos, but we play like a guessing kind of game thing each time with videos. So basically, you have to guess what it is before we reveal it. You know, it's fun. It's a fun thing we do. So we'll be definitely having that. Last week, we did movies for about 50 of them. And next Monday, we'll probably be doing TV shows. So TV shows will probably be on Monday. And we'll think about what we're going to do, movies or music on Tuesday. So the TV shows are definitely coming on Monday. Okay? So just so you guys know. So just go to MM in the Box. I know I don't have it typed up in here, but just put MM, and I'm pretty sure it's spaced out in spaced out the spaced out box. So just type that in on YouTube, and you should definitely see it. It's all pink and purple logo, so you'll be able to see it. Okay, so it's very fun. So officially, Robert Saleh has been officially assigned. On that note, I'm very happy. I was hoping happy before we went live. We did. It was perfect. So thank you, Robert Saleh, for agreeing to sign with us. We needed you. So I know all Niner fans are happy. So all right, that's the show, guys, and we will see you next time, which I hope will be in a few days. If not, be a few more days after that, maybe. So, but that's it, guys. So have a good night. And like always, I always say, keep the faith, never lose hope. Later, guys. Later.
Ready, go, ready, go, ready,